Hi Linda, I'm excited to give you this presentation on how we can help your girl become a stellar citizen in Humansville. So have a look and come back with any questions you might have. Okay, so let's get started. My goal for you and your girl is that you'll feel safe, empowered, and confident together by becoming the lead mare. So most of the time, traditional horse training and even natural horsemanship comes from the perspective of the dominant stallion. And while horses understand dominance and it can work, no horse in the herd follows the stallion. All horses follow lead mare, and she is not dominant. It's the experience and the wisdom and the willingness to make benevolent decisions for the herd that really set the lead mare apart. And depending on where we are in our horsewoman journey, what we can always do if we don't have the experience or the wisdom yet, make benevolent decisions for our herd of two. So let's analyze what is happening, and then I'll give you step-by-step instructions of what you can do to release those behavior patterns that she is currently using, and that also she doesn't feel the need to go to these extremes anymore. So in general, when we're looking at confidence in the horse, let me just pull that up real quick. For some reason it went away. Here we go. We have 5 areas of confidence. And her position in the herd currently is that she's on her own, but she has buddies on the other side of the fence. In general, despite that horse is content with where they are, this is not the ideal situation. So we might want to look at that at a certain point, just to give her the foundational needs that she needs to have to be the horse of your dreams. Right now she is content, so don't have to address it immediately, but I definitely would keep that in mind. Now, when we're looking at the environment, she had a lot of changes in her pretty short life so far. First she was in the field, then she came to you, then her horse buddy passed, then you moved her to the riding school, then she came home. So that is a lot of change. And in general, change is stressful for horses as their prey animal, because they constantly have to look for what is changing, what is happening, am I safe? And this can be, for a dominant boss confidence horse, also stressful, not as stressful as an unconfident horse, but definitely something that we want to look at. Now, what we're currently seeing is that she is challenging you and other humans as the lead. And I believe with the negative experiences that she has with the farriers and with the vets, that to some extent is damaged as a learner. And last but not least, her personality is that of not being spooky or not being easily afraid, but actually being bossy and pushy and sassy and confident, which once we take that element out of the equation, where she feels the need to be argumentative and to push against humans, that will melt away. And then we have the positive side, the light side of this type of horse, that she's by nature very confident, and that other horses might be worried or afraid of will not impact her. Now, the good news is, as you are working on becoming the lead in your herd of two, all these areas down here will eventually go away, as in doesn't matter anymore. You, horse, will start to look for you for guidance, and the outside circumstances and her history will be a part of her, but will no longer elicit negative feedback. Now, in general, when we're looking at how are we going to solve these issues that we're currently seeing, is we want to work basically with the classical dressage pyramid adapted to interconnection. So we are starting out with rhythm, and we are creating rhythm through positive patterns in everyday tasks. So positive patterns, and I call that the happy horse inventory. And because we're using positive patterns, there's a rhythm in the patterns. That is something that gives the horse clarity and consistency. And when we have clarity and consistency, it leads to certainty. And certainty is the foundation for confidence. So it's really important to know that everything that we're going to do, we will be looking for clarity and for consistency, and what I am currently doing, right? What you will be doing with your horse. You will always ask yourself, am I coming from a perspective of helping me and my horse feeling safe, empowered, and confident together? That then will create relaxation, mental, emotional, and physical balance. And when we have rhythm relaxation, then we have the basis for interconnection, and where the horse will look for us as the gatekeeper of their security, their confidence. And when our horse feels good about being in our presence, why would they not want to follow us and our ideas? So how do we go about it? Let me just make a little bit of room here so that I can share with you individual strategies that we want to employ to make a difference for your horse and for you, of course, because what you are bringing to the table, what you are doing, what you're not doing, and how your horse is responding, that is very much the basis for us to feel safe, right? Because if we have these scary behaviors, such as pushing into pressure and kicking when she should lift her feet, etc., that is scary, and that is also dangerous and can get us and our horse in trouble. So we want to look at 5 what I call lead mare principles. And what is really important when we're looking at those lead mare principles, that we're applying them in a fashion where we only operate where this is our horse and this is we, the human, where our confidence zone overlaps. Here. Because when you feel confident in what you're doing, then you can show up as the lead mare. And when you show up as the lead mare, your horse can feel confident in you. So this is a nice little circle where we can create a spiral. And eventually we will increase this area of comfort and confidence so that we can grow together. And in the beginning, we just start with what is possible right now. For example, I will go ahead and will send you a video from one of my students in Australia. Her name is Angel and her horse's name is Harry. And Harry's barn name used to be Horrible Harry. He had broken the farrier's hand, ran his human over before she signed up for my mentorship. He had ripped the tie rack apart, had chased people out of the paddock, and really had earned that barn name Horrible Harry, and now he's Sweetheart Harry. And in the beginning, we had to simply see what was possible. It wasn't possible yet to leave the paddock, because that's where the accident happened. He didn't want to leave the herd, and he ran his human over to get back to herd. We had to work with him on picking up feet in a way where he did not feel the need to be defensive. And he had already broken the farrier's hand, so we wanted to stay in his comfort zone. And I will send you a video where Angel will talk a little bit more about how important it is that we work with our horse at liberty, and coming from a perspective that our horse is happily and willingly relent her feet. So very important that our comfort and confidence zone overlaps, and that we also know that we will grow this as we go. So the first thing that I would like for you to focus on is your own mindset, and that you're coming from the perspective of being the lead mare. And a lot can be said about that, but I would like for you to get started with the body awareness and relaxation audio. And that will help you to be mentally, emotionally, and physically in a space where you are grounded, where you are present, and where your energy will help your horse feel calm, to feel safe, to feel empowered and confident with you. So this is an audio. I will go ahead and will send that to you. Number 2, with pushy, confident horses, we need to have healthy boundaries. And a lot of times, healthy boundaries, trainers and instructors teach to be dominant when it comes to boundaries. And when we have a bossy horse and we act dominantly, then they actually see that as an invitation to be argumentative, because they want to see, especially when they're young and they're frisky and they're trying to figure out their position in the herd, they will challenge the dominant human, they will challenge the other dominant horse. So from my perspective, we honor our personal space, and I will send you a video that will talk about that as well. Now, when we now have the lead mare mindset, when we are setting healthy boundaries, the next thing that we want to do is we want to look for mini and micro thresholds. And a lot of times this comes more natural when we have a horse that by nature displays a certain amount of fear, because we have empathy with a horse that has fear. But the important thing is that the dominant, pushy, confident horse also has thresholds. And the thresholds come a little bit from a different perspective. The threshold is, can I feel safe, secure, empowered, confident with my human? And when the horse does not feel that we are the lead mare and that we will keep them empowered and confident, then they again will become defensive, argumentative, and we will see the behaviors that your mare is currently displaying and that we will absolutely fix. So let me just make room here. Once we're looking at those mini and micro thresholds, and a lot of this, here, oops, there we go. And a lot of it is still in the rhythm column. Nope, that's the wrong button, excuse me. Let me open up here. So still operating in the rhythm category here, because we're working on creating these positive patterns. But as we are working on these 3 principles, what will happen is we will establish more and more relaxation. And what is important to know, relaxation, is that we're going to use the triple relaxation strategy. And that means that we always start in relaxation and go back to relaxation as necessary so we can end with relaxation. And a summary of relaxation can really be where can my horse say yes currently? What is my horse able to say yes to? And just like with the comfort and confidence zone, that might be in the beginning very little, but we will grow this area what our horse can say yes to. And as we are working on relaxation, rhythm and relaxation will create interconnection. And with the interconnection comes the possibility that we now can teach lightness, not through control and escalating phases and pressure, how so many trainers and instructors teach, but through lightness. And horses really appreciate lightness. And when it comes to softness, excuse me, my brain is going overload here. So let me fix this real quick. Softness, lightness through softness. And of course, horses appreciate lightness and softness. Now, what's important to know about this part here that is going to be really important for your horse. By nature, horses push and pull into pressure. And we literally need to teach them to be light and to yield and follow a feel. And I don't want that feel to be bigger than 100 grams or 3 ounces. And this is where I usually get some pushback when people say, hey, this is actually not possible with my horse. I could never operate from 100 grams or 3 ounces. But when our horse mentally, emotionally, and physically relaxed, when our horse is balanced, when our horse has no brace, tension, stress, worry, anxiety, or fear, then we are able to operate from this place of lightness. And we can teach a horse to flow a feel of 100 grams and 3 ounces. And that's where it becomes really exciting because the communication gets so soft. And that is especially important for horses that are either draft part or full draft, because these horses have been bred to push into pressure. And that natural tendency to push in pressure is actually multiplied. So we want our horse to learn to yield and to follow a feel. And all of this, of course, will then help with your horse to let go of the brace, the tension, the stress, the worry, the anxiety that he's currently feeling that has been established through those negative experiences that she had. And of course, Maria will be doing her part as your farrier, and I'm so excited that you have her in your corner to help you, because that will help also your mare to have positive experiencing. And when we're going to healthy boundaries, it is absolutely vital that those healthy boundaries are not only between us and our horse, but that we set boundaries for ourselves. So that comes back here, that we operate in our confidence and comfort zone, but also that we set boundaries with experts such as vets and farriers, because if you are putting all this work in and you're coming from the leader perspective, and then somebody else comes in and says, well, I don't care how you treat your horse, this is how I'm going to do it, you will violate your horse's trust, and that will then have a large consequence, because you will take a huge withdrawal out of the relationship bank account. So we need to make sure that we find experts that are willing to operate within the belief system and the way of interaction that you are choosing. Super, super important. And of course, as we are helping her to say yes, then it will also become easier for the experts to have interactions with your horse. So please feel free to come back with any questions that you have, because it's important that you understand the deeper level of how we can once and for all fix this behavior. So we're not looking for band-aids, we're looking for the root cause and to create permanent, long-lasting change, not just for a few days or weeks or months, but for decades to come. It's very important that we're looking at it from that perspective. And if you would like to continue to work with me so that I am your connection and confidence coach for the next few weeks, my enrollment for my mentorship, which is called Relationship Restart, is going on through February 10th. So if you would like to work with me and for me to hold your hand and your mare's hoof so that you have the guidance to work through this roadmap with me, then I would love to talk with you about that and share everything that's included. So that's the Relationship Restart mentorship, and we are open for enrollment until February 10th. And after that, I'm closing it until further notice, and I'm not sure when I will open it again, because this is a high support level program and we have a fantastic community. My student Angel says it's the family that you can choose. I want to make sure that every horse and every human that is part of the program gets the attention that they deserve. So let me know if you would like to know more about that, and make sure that you come back with any questions that you have. I'm also super happy to look at the videos, because that's what I do in the mentorship. I look at videos that you are sending in. I give you concrete feedback, what's happening, what you should do, what you should not do, what horses' responses are, and to have a clear roadmap every week, what to do to create progress and growth for yourself and your horse for decades to come. So as I always say in my mentorship group, be blessed and with lots of love, because love makes everything better. Have a splendid rest of the day. And I'm looking forward to hear back from you and to see some videos from your pretty girl. Bye now, and thank you so much for listening.